Good morning, welcome to Ag Talking Raw, where we talk raw about agriculture and other things that are on my mind. Now, first and foremost, happy Easter. I didn't get any candy. I didn't get any eggs. I didn't get anything, which is fine because I shot the Easter bunny last year. Yeah, I camped out for that motherfucker and I put a bullet right in his goddamn head because you know what? I don't like the Easter bunny. I really don't. He's creepy. I mean, have you ever seen a rabbit shit out an egg? I mean, if you ever saw that or witnessed that, there's just some amazing, creepiness about that. I'd put up a picture of his dead corpse, but that would probably get me demonetized and probably thrown off of YouTube. But that's just me. So, anyways, Easter has absolutely nothing to do with candy. It has nothing to do with bunnies. It has nothing to do with anything, Easter egg hunts and things like that. That's just fun stuff for the kids. So when I was a kid, I used to get up in the morning and I used to watch a television program. It was like on PBS, Public Broadcasting Services, which was the United States government, our local government's broadcasting system. I used to watch Doctor Who, and on Easter Sunday, we would watch, or me and my sisters would watch, the story of Jesus Christ and how he, was a child and, at age 13 he did the 30-some-odd mile trek to Jerusalem to, talk with the wise men in the temples and things like that. I remember it vaguely, but, I used to watch that. Now this morning I got up and I flipped through the channels and it was an old black and white film that was played every Easter Sunday when I was a kid, and I couldn't find it. It just isn't there. It's kind of sad because it was something that I remember doing after I would get up in the morning and go to the farm and feed calves and help my dad get done, and then I was able to get my Easter basket that my mom and dad, or the Easter bunny, had so lovingly had set out for me and my sisters. When I was a kid, my parents would actually host a huge Easter egg hunt, and that carried on to my son, Timothy, and Haley and Joe, my children. We did that for a couple of years until my ex-wife did what she did, which was right around Easter. As a matter of fact, that Easter I had to take my children to a public Easter egg hunt. There was no private one, because the private ones were always more fun. You got your friends and people together, and I actually have photos of that someplace. I know exactly where they are, but I'm not going to flip through them. Easter was always a fun time of year. It was like this, it was either in March and cold as frig, or in April and the crocuses and daffodils were all blooming out and things were so pretty and somewhat warm. The yard was always muddy and there was always someone doing something. But I remember back in 1981 when I was in the Christian school, because I did actually go to a Christian school out here to Baptist Baptist Church. I had a Christian school, which I attended for 2 years before the... Ow, that hurt. For 2 years before it closed. The headmaster left and everybody loved the headmaster, and they didn't have a new headmaster, and the person they were going to appoint for the headmaster was not accepted, so they decided to close the school down, which was sad for me. But in that year we had a huge Easter egg hunt. Everybody in that school was invited. There was like 80 students. All the teachers showed up. The headmaster was there, and I remember coloring Easter eggs, which was incredibly fun, for us when we were children. At the time, it turned into a job, but me and my friend Jason Bauman, and my friend Mike Rosado, we were there, and my sisters, they had their friends there. I remember Heather Dorff and Marcy Hale and a couple of other kids. I think the Barlows were there. There were twins, they were pretty girls too. I was in 4th and 5th grade when I was in the Christian school. So anyways, it was a great time. We had the pipeline, which was where the petroleum pipeline went through our property, and that was for the older kids, and then the younger kids had the field out where, just above where the hay pile is. And my dad, it was basically take these cases, those 30 dozen cases, I think we had 4 of them, that were all colored, And my mother just boiled those eggs till they were hard boiled, and me and all our friends got together and we colored these eggs. And the day before the Easter egg hunt, my dad and my mom and I think the neighbors were involved in it also, which I know they were, the McConnells, the Hales, obviously, and we just, they hid those eggs, and I'll never forget the run down to the pipeline. It was from, I think it was 4th grade to 8th grade, or, yeah, 4th grade to 8th grade to high school, because there was high school in there. So I don't know if the high school kids were in that. They had to be, because my sister Wendy was in high school, in the Christian school. So it was 4th grade to 8th grade, through high school. 4th through high school was down on a pipeline. And this Easter egg hunt was so massive that you just couldn't believe all the kids that were there. I mean, you just couldn't believe the magnitude of this Easter egg hunt. So, my sister Holly, is someone that I don't see or talk to anymore for reasons I'm not going to get into on this channel, or any channel for that matter. I'm just not going to talk about her. She doesn't deserve it. She threw an egg at, I believe it was me. She might have threw it at my sister Wendy. But she threw an egg. Okay, so when she throws this egg, that started an Easter egg fight. The high school kids, these eggs were flying. That whole entire thing was just covered with busted Easter eggs. And Holly had thrown every single egg that she had. But she had the most eggs, because she snuck down earlier and looked to see if she could find the golden egg or the silver egg. My dad used silver. We didn't have a gold egg. We only had a silver egg because we didn't have gold tinfoil. And there were plastic eggs with little candies and stuff in them. So, she had, whatever. I don't even want to talk to about my sister on this one. But she started this Easter egg fight. And it was just, all the kids that had left early or didn't want to get hit by Easter eggs, because them fuckers hurt. You get hit by an Easter egg, you've been hit by something. It's like a rock. So us wholesome Christian school children had just had an Easter egg fight. We were beat up. Kids were bleeding. I want to say that it was either Jason or Michael that had lost a tooth. Yeah, knocked it out from getting hit in the face by an Easter egg fight. We get up to the top, and Holly says, "I had the most eggs," la, la, la. And they're like, "Well, where are they?" And, of course, we got kids with blood running out of them and things like that. She said, "Well, we threw them." Well, my dad was, A, I'm sure my parents were embarrassed, and B, it doesn't matter how many eggs you used to have. It matters how many eggs you actually still have. So the younger kids that scattered when the big eggs, the eggs started flying, they headed up to the top. So they counted out their eggs, and it was great because the older kids who, wanted this huge rabbit didn't get it. I didn't get it, obviously, but I still had more eggs than my sister. I had left. I left the fight when I got hit in the head by the egg, and right in the temple, laid me right out on the ground. Those kids, the bigger high school kids, could really chuck them hard. But I got up there, and I think, I don't know, maybe a dozen eggs is all I had by the time it was done. But one of the younger kids had won this Easter egg hunt. I think it was my sister Ella's friend, and give me a minute, I'd think of her name. But it was fun. I mean, looking back on it, we had a lot of fun doing the Easter egg hunts, and it was, growing up on the farm is so different than kids that grow up in a town or even in a subdivision or even just on a 2-acre lot. We had access to literally 1,000 acres of ground in the valley, and we could do basically whatever we wanted. And when we had this Easter egg hunt, these kids were like, "Oh my God, this is your land. I mean, this is where you're raised. This is where you're growing up. This is awesome," And it's like we gained more friends, that way, because they were like, "Oh wow, we want to hang out here." And of course, when the work started, the kids would come and it's like, "We're gonna unload hay today. Yay, we're gonna unload hay!" And then after 10 loads of hay, they're like, "Fuck you, man. We're not coming back here." So you find out who your friends really truly are when you're working and stuff. But Easter is not about Easter egg hunts or Easter egg fights or prizes or things like that. It is about Jesus Christ and the whole religious holiday thing. Jesus was born on Christmas Day, and let's see, Easter, was that when he was crucified, or was that when the Ascension Day? No, it must have been Easter. He was crucified on Easter Sunday. I believe that's what it was. I mean, I'm 45 years old. My mind is going blank on these things, on stuff that I learned when I was a kid. But Ascension Day is when he ascended to heaven after he, because he left 3 days after being in the tomb, or 3 weeks. I don't even know. I'm not even going to try to school people on religious stuff. But so it's if you're a young kid and you don't know much about Easter other than Easter bunnies, eggs, and candy, then go crack open a Bible. I'm not the most religious person on the planet, and I can honestly say that I have moved away from religion in my older age for reasons that I'm not going to get into today. Well, I can. I watched my sister die from cancer, and I heard someone say, God has a plan. Well, when you take a good person and make them rot from the inside out, do you think there really truly is a God? Or someone told me one time that God will only give you what you can handle. Like, well, I can handle a lot, but I don't really want to. What doesn't kill us makes us stronger. Those types of things, So, I'm not going to talk religion or anything like that too much on this channel, but it's hard to make me believe that there is a God after seeing what happened to my sister. It's just not fair to anyone. So I know this isn't the regular Ag Talk in a Raw, but I just want to say thank you, all my fans and friends and followers that follow me on both channels. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. I will continue to produce videos until I find it not fun anymore, and I'm still having fun, or I wouldn't have opened another channel, or 2 others for that matter. I work a lot, and this is a job. I was just watching Lord Muck, and you can type him up. It's LORD MUCK, capital L, capital M, and go watch his channel. I mean, he's my age, and I like him a lot. I think he's a cool dude. He does some things that are different than me, but he does have a variety channel similar to mine. He's either working on tractors, he's either digging trenches, or he's flying P-51 Mustangs and other World War II aircraft. He's visiting the beaches at Normandy and stuff like that. So go check his channel out if you haven't already. Subscribe to it, because he's doing videos with Dino0303 and George Saunders. They're calling that the 3 Wise Monkeys. You can check out that channel, which is a little comedic, and there's they allude to what is going to happen. Something is coming on the horizon, and it's a good channel to watch. So go check that stuff out if you haven't already. And Dad is calling me, so I have to go. Have a good one.